What is up, my kings and queens and all in between, my crown community? Thank you so much for coming back to your one-stop shop place for all things balancing creativity, spirituality, well-being, and entrepreneur. And as you're watching, you can see my handsome guests already. I'm so excited to introduce them to you. But before I do that, I wanted to ask you a favor. That song you just heard is called Mi Corazón, written by myself, produced by Aaron McLendon. You can download wherever you stream your favorite music. But don't forget to give us the thumbs up, the ratings, the reviews. Share this episode with somebody that you love so it can help inspire other artists that are trying to pursue their passions and dreams. So today, you guys, Mindful Artist Podcast. So excited to introduce to you the infamous Mike Ruiz. Look at that. Welcome, Mike. How's it going? So
Great. How are
handsome.
you? Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming. You have been like such a hero and icon and legend that I've looked up to and wanted to talk to you. So this is a great space for other artists to get to know a little bit about your backstory and your origin. So can I read your bio? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So Mike Ruiz, Mark on pop culture is undeniable. Okay, his massive list of celebrity clients include Jared Leto, Anne Hathaway, Billy Portal, Billy Idol, Neil Patrick Harris, RuPaul, MJ Rodriguez, Cardi B, Ruby Rose, Katy Perry, Prince, Justin Theroux, Kim Kardashian, Iman, Anthony Mackie, Nicki Minaj, Kelly Clarkson, Aubrey Plaza, Chance the Rapper, Jim Parsons, Queen Latifah, Beyonce, Betty White, and literally thousands of others. He has also gone to direct dozens of music videos for artists such as Kelly Rowland, Vanessa Williams, Erika Jayne, and RuPaul. He made his feature film directorial debut with the uproarious comedy StarrBooty starring RuPaul. Not only does Mike excel behind the camera, but his telegenic presence has landed him dozens of spots on the televisions and film. He has appeared numerous times on America's Next Top Model, was a permanent fixture on Canada's Next Top Model, appeared on the first 6 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, as the official photographer on the season opener, a spot that was created especially for him. Mike was named creative director and principal photographer for El Oficial Fashion Book Australia, El Oficial Fashion Book Monte Carlo. Mike also co-owns Photo Book magazine, for which he is also the creative director. Mike is most proud for his community service, having supported such organizations such as the Ali Forney Center, GMHC, the Trevor Project, Housing Works, It Gets Better campaign, Live Out Loud, Project Angel Food, GLAD, Heritage of Pride, and Pride Life. Mike has been honored with the Diamond Award from the Imperial Court of New York, the Ally Forney Center Advocate Award, GMHC's Hector Extravaganza Excellence Award, and was named Grand Marshal for Pride in the cities of Albuquerque, New Mexico, San Antonio, Texas, and Tampa, Florida. Mike was also honored and proclaimed from the city of New York and has had the U.S. flag flown of the United States Capitol at the request of Congressman Adam Schiff, all in recognition of his tireless efforts on behalf of the LGBTQ plus community. Mike also advocates for animal rights, supporting dozens of rescues and organizations such as PETA, Stand Up for Pets, For Paws INT, and Bark Nation. Welcome, welcome, Mike Ruiz. How does it
Well,
feel
that's
to
it.
hear all that?
That's the end of the interview.
I know. Thank you.
Everyone knows everything now.
Goodbye. I mean, it's so impressive. Like I've known about you forever, and I actually worked on season 1 through 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, with Mac sponsored. So I'm sure like we crossed paths, but we never actually officially met. Yeah, as an educator, I've used your portfolio, your career, and you've highlighted you as a fellow Latino X community, of excellence because it's you're a hero. Like you're one of my heroes for sure. How does it
Aw.
feel to hear people talk about you like that?
I mean, it's I don't kind of take it all with a grain of salt. I don't buy. I'm so flattered and honored that people view me that way, but I certainly don't view myself that way. And it's when I hear it, it's kind of like they're talking about somebody else.
So humble. Also why we love you. So let's go back in time. Yeah. We talked a little bit about your career and all the accomplishments that you've done, but I mean, it didn't start with that. Where are you from? How was baby Mike Reeves? Were you always creative? Who was like your kind of hero that you looked up to?
I'm from Montreal. I was born and raised in Montreal, actually, a little tiny suburb of Montreal. Um, and I mean, I can correlate all of my career and like everything that's happened to me in my life to my rich fantasy life that I had as a child.
Yeah.
I was so bored because we didn't have cable and we didn't have, we had like
Okay.
one channel. It was like the local French Canadian channel. So that's my only outlet to the outside world. My parents never took us to see movies or to museums or anything. So we had no exposure to any form of like art or culture or anything. And so,
Got
I
it.
mean, all of that boredom really inspired me to develop a very rich fantasy life. And it was very rich. It was borderline delusional.
Yeah.
I just would like have these really elaborate fantasies about working, like being in entertainment, and like all of my friends were celebrities, and I was doing all this, like I was going to Studio 54, and this is when I was 13.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's pretty much, I guess it's like creative visualization.
Yeah.
My very rich fantasy life came to pass, and I
Period.
attributed it
You
all to that, to the to being like fully immersed in my fantasy life. And I could always, I mean, I could feel it. Like I remember being 13 years old, and I mean I could feel what it felt like being in entertainment and being on TV. And
yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with how people achieve their goals, is if they
Mhm.
can actually like genuinely picture themselves in a position. And I never wavered for a second. I mean, I never thought for one second that it wasn't going to happen. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I
Sure.
just knew that I was going to get there somehow.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I figured it
I
out.
I mean, there's something really special about that magical innocence that we have as kids and that youth and the fantasy and the imagination they describe that in a sense you created and manifested your vision board that came to life and fruition. You know what I mean? Like it
Mhm.
actually happened and you believed in it so much. And I'm sure you thought about it daily, that it was an ongoing practice. It was kind of like your religion. And there you go. What you spoke out into the universe, what you saw in your head, it came, it happened. So bravo, congratulations. That is like
Yeah,
the ultimate epitome of a vision board, right?
yeah, and I'm glad it panned out. And I mean, again, I never thought that it wouldn't, but I mean, things happen. It's highly possible that I could have strayed from the path, and but um, I feel really grateful. So that's my other point, is like I don't take any of it for granted, because I like everyone is one bad decision away from like being in prison or being a drug addict or being
Yeah.
dead. So
Yeah.
I and I've been, again, like my family, we didn't have a lot of structure. I didn't have a lot of guidance.
Okay.
So, like I was like wild when I was a kid. I was like in my early teens and my late teens. I mean, I was like partying my ass off and like
Yeah.
doing drugs, and and this is like,
You got to get out of the system. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, my point is like, like that's a recipe for disaster, especially at
Hmm.
that age with no guidance. Like I was just like spinning out of control, and
Hmm.
somehow, some way I was able to kind of, stream, like harness all of that angst into something constructive.
Sure. Yeah, we've interviewed so many different types of artists, and we all kind of share a little bit of a um, rock bottom story. You know what I mean? Where through traumas and tribulations, you kind of have to be a little bit broken to climb back up and to kind of reinvent yourself and to see the potentials of what you can become. But without you hitting those rock bottoms or those, you talked about, addiction problems and stuff like that, you would not be able to see the other side to the light of that darkness. So that's good that that happened at a young age and you got it out of your system and you still kept through it and you still did you have any like heroes or mentors that you that walked you through that path?
Not like in my in my life. I mean, like there were people that I admired in
Sure.
entertainment and stuff, but and that really, I have to attribute a lot of my what got me through is the belief that I would meet these people one day.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna have like a a delusional fantasy life, that's the one to have, right?
Yeah, I'm here
Because
for it.
it all kind of like panned out. I mean, like literally, like all the people that really inspired me and motivated me as a kid and as a young adult, I ended up
Working with.
meeting and working with, and
It's incredible.
so it's that's so like whenever people ask me if like I had any like mentors or anything, I mean there was a couple of people. There was a guy that kind of helped me out in my early adulthood. He actually was a friend of mine. He's the one who got me a camera. Like he,
Okay.
he saw me kind of flailing, and he was a really good friend of mine, um and he got me this camera. And I don't know what prompted him to do that, because I had no outward signs that I was interested in photography, or
Right.
like he just got me this camera, and I opened the box, and it was kind of like an epiphany.
What
Just
kind of camera was it? Do you remember?
it was a EOS Elan, a Canon. It was
Okay.
like an
That's a good one.
auto point and shoot everything. Yeah, it was a pretty decent first camera. But I just became like consumed with photographing, and then shortly thereafter, I came to realize that photography was a way for me to communicate stuff that I
Yeah.
couldn't do verbally or in any other way. Um, so I
You're a
became,
storyteller.
yeah, so it became like a really powerful storytelling tool for me,
Hmm.
and also like a catharsis for me, like to, I worked out a lot of crap
Yeah.
through photography.
Yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
stuff that hadn't I had photography, I probably would have turned to darker, more
Yeah.
self-destructive things.
Yeah. Part of the
Which
journey
is
of an
very cool
artist
too.
is
Yeah.
is that is having, this is why I call it Mindful Artist Podcast, because for me they work hand in hand. It's a little bit of our spiritual part too, in a sense. Um, growing up, were you spiritual at all? Like, do whatever that means to you, like, do you have any kind of practice or any spirituality?
Um, not in the conventional sense. Like
Right.
I'm not religious. I don't go to
Hmm.
church. I never did. Um, I don't really subscribe to a lot of organized religion,
Right.
but I do, I mean, some people call it spirituality, but I'm very scientific about the whole thing. Like I'm really big
Hmm.
into quantum mechanics and quantum physics, and how there's no, like, time is not linear. It's like, the
Right.
past, present, future's all in one. So like to me,
Very Neil
to me
deGrasse of you.
that's like a really solid explanation of things that happen, that like how we all feel connected, and
Hmm.
how we should all feel connected. To me is more a byproduct of you know physics and quantum mechanics and quantum
Hmm.
physics and all that, as opposed to some ethereal thing that people can't wrap their heads around.
I
And
got you.
it's equally as spiritual. I mean, like it prompts the exact same things as being like Buddhist or whatever. Like I
Hmm.
want to feel connected. I want to be a decent person. I want to give, I want people when they leave my company, I want them to feel good that they were in my company. So like
Right.
all of all of the things that my mindset prompt are the same as organized religion. Well, most organized religion.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because the human brain is literally only born with a couple fears and the sense of survival, through, our evolution. Like, we want to be a part of community, we want to be accepted, we want to feel loved, and so yeah, I mean, we all kind of share that quality as human beings,
Mhm.
and we all have water and we all have the same, insides, and so yeah, in a sense, that's part of like why we want to feel connected. Uh, all right, very cool. So I have this section that I like to call Love is Art, Art is Love, and because for me, they work hand in hand. So, Mike, can you share any practices or routines that you have in place to nurture your creativity and while also running your business?
I mean, I don't know. That's a really good question. I've never really thought about, it's not like I take time and I'm like, okay, I'm going to nurture my creativity now by doing A, B, and C. Like I think just the
What
way
is
that I've
what you do to
the way that
inspire
I've
yourself? Hmm.
the way that I've constructed my life and my schedule and my, and how I've tried to create balance in my life, um, all contributes to fostering creativity. And you know, a lot of that has to do with like being healthy and eating healthy, and a lot of it has to do with doing something that's not for me. I mean,
Right.
that's such a huge part of my my ability to navigate life is
Mm-hmm.
like if everything was for me, like I need, you know, like money and houses and car, like if that was my mindset, and it was for a long time, and you know, I
Mm-hmm.
came to the realization that I was miserable and it was empty, and it didn't, you know, it didn't it didn't foster any creativity. As a matter of fact, it robbed me of a lot of creativity because I was chasing the wrong things and I was using the wrong things as the goal, as opposed to, you know, like being a decent human being and being compassionate and empathetic human being. To me, that fosters a lot more creativity than, you know, how many gold watches I can have.
Yeah. Yeah. It streamlines and put things into perspective of what really has value, and your connections and the energy exchange that you're having within your environment, I think is really your philosophy. Like that's possibly your mission statement too. You're being unselfish by doing all these amazing charities too that I'm just learning about, with animal, Mother Nature, you know what I mean, with people, with community LGBTQ, with people that are underrepresented, and that speaks volumes. Like that's massive. Like I'm really proud of you for making a difference and an impact in all of our lives. So I commend you for that. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe you can share some tips or advice for aspiring entrepreneurs looking to incorporate more creativity into their work.
You know, again, it all comes back to, um, I mean, so like from like a literal standpoint, like art, like I always found that exposing myself to as much as
Mm,
possible and as varied, you know, as many varied things as possible. Like traveling was always a big thing for me. Just experiencing different cultures,
yes, yes,
seeing like as many movies as I can see, listening to a really broad range of music. I mean, all of that contributes to, you know, like I don't know how my brain works, but I process it all and then I regurgitate it
yeah,
in something creative. And it all comes like I can, and so, you know, I don't really know that it's happening at the time. It's not like, oh, I have an idea for a shoot that came from this movie that I saw.
yeah,
I usually can identify it far, you know, after I do a shoot. So I'll shoot something and the ideas just come to me and then I'll do it and I'll execute it. And then like a year later, I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, that I did that because I saw that movie and I went to India and you know, and then I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's a combination of
sure.
things that your brain just kind of,
So expose yourself and
yeah.
live life, and be open-minded to different things and places and cultures, and you can trigger and
That's the thing
plant little seeds.
is to be open-minded and to try and remove judgment from stuff that you experience because people that's what keeps people from experiencing things in a
Yeah,
really beautiful, like in a beautiful way is their judgment. You know, like they'll meet somebody and they'll
yeah.
have judgment about them, or they'll have judgment about like, oh, India's, you know, like every time I tell people I go to India, like not everybody, but a handful of Westerners, you know, they're like, oh, why did you go to such a dirty country?
I
I'm
would
like,
love to go there.
yeah, well, that's my point. You know what I mean? So like people have judgment for stuff,
Yeah.
and it precludes them from experiencing something spectacular. So
Hmm.
trying to avoid judgment, and you know, like you know, I'm not devoid of judgment. I'm not, you know, I'm not Mother Teresa. Um,
Right.
Mother Teresa
We all have
wasn't
a little
Mother
bit of
Teresa.
that. Yeah.
If you Google like what Mother Teresa was really about, it's not pretty. But
Right.
anyway, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so like you know, I struggle with you know trying not to be judgmental, and I find that if I approach something without judgment, that I'll be
Hmm.
able to experience it in a way that will benefit me, you know, emotionally and spiritually and
Yeah.
creatively.
I love that. Cool. All right. I mean, you have accomplished so much. You are published, you're a director, you're photography, you're the art, all the mediums and expression, which I look up to a lot. And so at this point in your career, like how do you measure success in both your creative and entrepreneurial pursuits? And do they overlap in any way?
Oh, I measure success by peace of mind. If I have,
Preach.
it's really it's really simple. You know,
Yeah.
if I don't have peace of mind, there's literally nothing that I could be
Yeah.
doing. If something's really causing me a lot of angst and stress, and it's like an incredible thing,
Yeah.
most people would perceive it as being an incredible like career thing. Like I don't like I'm at a different point in my life.
Yeah.
I don't peace of mind is what I aspire to
I love that.
in all ways.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, with that said, you know, like I'm still really ambitious, and I still have a lot of things that I want to do, and you know, and I'm doing them. And what was the question? I feel like I said,
You answered it. It was great. Just how you measure success in both your creative
oh
and
yeah,
entrepreneurial pursuits. Yeah. Well
yeah.
said.
Well, and so like I mean, like as from an entrepreneurial standpoint, I've never let fear or I've never not fear. I've never let the lack of knowledge
Hmm.
stop me from doing anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I never studied photography. I never studied filmmaking. I never was a publisher. I was never a graphic designer. Yet
Yeah.
I've done all these things, and now I own a magazine, a successful one, and you know, I creative direct two other successful ones. You
Yeah.
know, I don't, you know, I did it all by the seat of my pants.
Amazing.
And it's, you know, I think it's just a matter of faking it till you make it.
Period. Opportunities are endless, you guys. Proof is right here, right in front of me. I love that. All right. So this segment I like to call How You Gonna Love Somebody Else If You Can't Love Yourself First. So what are your self-care beauty regimens? Because you're stunning. I know that you're very healthy. Do you take time for yourself selfishly before you are of service to others? And any skincare beauty tips that you want to share?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Um, I use photography as a commodity. So I barter a lot of stuff. So I have
Yes.
like all these like skincare places that I go to.
Come
You
on,
know, it's all part
sponsorships.
of it. You know, again, it's my quest for peace of mind. Like
Yeah.
you know, I want to feel good, and like you know, it's like self care is really
Hmm.
integral to you know to that. So I just you know, I mean, I take care of myself and I work out, and like that's paramount. Like in the morning, I'll go to the gym, and like I need that time, and I don't answer calls, I don't return emails.
It's your therapy.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always done. That's really like that really kind of keeps my mind clear and keeps me you know
Balance.
balanced, but also like keep you know I mean I'm 60, and you know like I stamina you know like my stamina is kind of like wavering, so like you know all my working out and stuff is an effort to just kind of maintain some stamina, because again I have a lot of things that I still want to do, and
You
you
need
know
the
I still
energy
work
for it.
like you know
Hmm.
I still work like 60-70 hours a week, just you know so that requires a little bit of stamina, so basically I'm in
Yeah.
constant training for for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I you know, I try to eat well and
It's inspiring. Goals, you guys. You look like younger than me, which is crazy. Love that. All right. That was really good tips. And self-care is very important. It's got to be your own therapy before you are of service to others, because you're not going to be as balanced or be able to offer what you potentially can. All right. So now this next segment I like to call for season two, 2024.
The library is open! Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
There you have it, darling.
The library is open. It's not to throw shade, it's to throw light. And this is an opportunity to spotlight our guests and share your favorite book that you're currently reading. And what are your top 3 reasons why?
well
Or a book from the past.
I'm not gonna lie, I listen to audiobooks. I
That's great.
haven't physically read a book in
It's still
30
literature.
years. Yeah, I actually just got RuPaul's book like this past weekend. He just signed a copy for me, so I'm gonna read that. That's
Yeah,
what.
I think I
And then
saw that in your
also
story.
a friend of mine wrote a book. He's the founder of the Ali Forney Center, which is like LGBTQ homeless shelter in New York City. Um, and he has like
The
a
name of
really
it?
incredibly inspiring story. I mean, he built this organization out of nothing, and now he's on regular panels at the White House, and I mean, he's become a real force in LGBTQ activism. Um, and he just wrote a book. So I want to read that as well because
What was his name?
his name is Carl Siciliano,
Thank you.
and his book is called Making Room.
Got it.
Yeah, so
Making
like
room.
everyone should get that. It comes out May 15th, May 21st is when it comes out.
Amazing. You're hearing it hot off the press, you guys. Make sure
And
you're
of course, you
taking
got to
those
get
notes.
RuPaul's book too, because he's, I mean, that's a pretty inspiring story. I was hanging out with him on Saturday, and I mean, it's
Yeah.
just incredible. Like I remember, I used to go to his house on, he had this condo. It was nice. It was, but he had this nice condo, and
Right.
his opulence and stuff is not. I mean, it's he really. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
That's the drag part. That's the drag part.
Right, but it's not like it's funny for like he doesn't define himself with it by it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's comfort, like to him he just likes to be in a comfortable, like beautiful space.
Mhm.
But I mean it's pretty cool to see, like, you go in his office and he has like 30 Emmys on the wall and like
Amazing.
drag queen. Like I remember
Yeah.
1990 I was in drag and he was in drag and we were both like competing in this at Palladium or
No way. Where are the receipts? We need the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, no, he was the judge. He was judging.
Uh-huh.
There was like a drag legs contest, and anyway, he was the judge in 1990. So that was like the first time I crossed paths with him in 1990.
Wow.
And then we became friends in like 1997, 98, and
So cool.
But he has a really inspiring story, and he uses his message to to promote like self-love and
yeah, I definitely soundbite from Mother Rue often, and it was really fun working with her on season 1 through 4, and she's such a big flirt and would always just slap my ass or something, and I was here for it. But I'll never forget, even when I worked at Mac at the store and the pro store, and she would come in and she would be like, "This eyeliner better not run on me. It better stay on me all day." Like she was just so fun and crazy and kooky and just always a good time, It's always fun with her. Thank you for sharing that. Speaking of, I would love for you to share some of your top moments. Like I know that you've done a lot of charitable work and you're advocate for animals and LGBTQ+. But what are some of the 3 highlights that you are very proud of that you want that to be like legendary on your tombstone? Like that's what Mike Ruiz is known for.
I don't know. It's funny. I don't really concern myself with leaving anything behind. I don't. I think a lot of people are afraid to be forgotten. Like I don't. I'm here. I'm trying to live in the moment, live in the present.
There you go.
I don't really think about like what legacy do I want to leave. Like I'm doing things daily. Yesterday, I shot a campaign for the Ali Forney Center, their Pride campaign. It was basically celebrating 5 people who graduated from, who were homeless at one point, and now they went through the Ali Forney, Ali Forney Center kind of helped them get on their feet. Because the Ali Forney Center does a bunch of stuff. Like it's not only housing, but it's medical care and counseling and training to how to get a job, and they teach you how to save money. I mean, it's like this really broad scope of services that they offer to people who are unhoused, and so we were celebrating 5 people who were graduates who are now like thriving and like
it's amazing,
doing incredible, like really incredible things, but not super visible. Like they're not like champions. But so we wanted, like I wanted to like do something to celebrate these incredible people.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be their Pride campaign. So I, like initially I pitched it to them. I'm like, I really want to do something. I want to like, how can I use my photography to help you guys? And we came up with this idea collectively, and it's going to be like their Pride campaign. So I'm proud of that and excited about that. I'm really, I mean, if you have to ask me, like I'm proud. I'm like every time I save a dog's life or like that just feeds my soul. So
those campaigns are stunning.
Yeah, so I'm like that I'm really so not pride. I mean I'm I'm grateful that I'm in a position where I can do that sort of thing effectively.
Beautiful. I love it. I'm here for it. And then we love our pits. We have a pit as well. My
Oh, you
husband and I.
do?
Yeah, her name is Tiffany Amber.
Oh,
Yeah,
not bad.
she's so friendly, and they're like the most loving and caring dogs, right? Yeah, we've
They
we've
are.
always rescued between both of us. We've had like 6 in 14 years, but now we're
Oh,
down
yeah?
to 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
awesome.
yeah, we love the pooches. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. All right, you guys. So you're here. You're amazing. I want to have a lot more time with you, but I know that you're a busy man in demand. So we have this final segment called the Wrapping Up Mindful Artist Rapid Cues. They're just 3 random questions that I'm going to ask you intuitively. Try not to think about it too hard. Hopefully you have an answer for them. All right. So question number 1 from Mike Ruiz: Who is your hero and why?
Who is my hero? My hero changes all the time.
That's
Currently,
okay.
I mean, my heroes are people like Carl Siciliano, who's like affected thousands and thousands of people's lives
Sure.
in a positive way. And then there's my other friend Rebecca Corey, who she has an organization called Stand Up for Pits, and I mean, we're really good friends, but secretly I idolize her, and she's like a total hero of mine because she's
That's
saved
cute.
like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dogs. And she's literally changed legislation in states,
Yeah.
and she's done like incredible things to help better the lives of these poor maligned animals who I feel so connected to.
Yeah.
So she's my hero.
Beautifully said. Yeah, because they don't have a voice, so she's giving them voices, which is amazing. Like that, I have friends like that too. That's very nice to be connected with our pooches. All right, question number 2 for wrapping up my Forest Rapid Cues. Mike Ruiz, what is your favorite music album of all time?
Oh, all time. Well, it's definitely a Prince album, probably
Yes.
1990. Wait, it was Purple Rain? Purple
Good
Rain.
choice.
Purple
Yes.
Rain. And then I also love Sinead O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the one with Nothing Compares to? What was the name of that album? That
I
one.
can visualize the cover, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah,
Like
I'll look at
I still listen to that like regularly. Like that
yeah,
whole album is
like track 1 to the very last track.
to
Just
the
let it
end.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Good
incredible.
choices. I knew you were going to pick something cool. Purple Rain, Prince, and Sinead O'Connor. All right, Mike Ruiz, last question. What is your favorite quote of all time?
Favorite quote. Quote. I don't know. There's a lot of catchphrases that are
You
but
can say one of
quote,
those.
like a quote, like I don't know. Uh
Maybe someone that said to you or you read somewhere that kind of resonated with you.
I'm trying to think. I know I'm not supposed to think too hard about it, but
You're
okay,
Mike Ruiz. You
let me
can. You're
give you
good.
a little explanation as to how my brain works.
Yes.
I have like so many, like it's hard to pick single things of anything. You know
It's
what I
like a
mean? Because
Rolodex, like a directory in there, huh?
I have like such a broad appreciation of so many things. Like to single any one thing out is, like now I just mentioned those 2 albums, but now I'm thinking of like 50 others. There's a
Yeah,
Blondie album
totally. Yeah.
there's a Kate Bush album that I like.
Yeah.
So
Ugh,
like
I
now
love
I'm
Kate
thinking of
Bush.
all this other stuff. So like as far as quotes go, oh God, I just read a quote and now I can't remember it. And I remember thinking how powerful it was. I'll text it to you. I can't remember it now.
It sounds fine. That's your homework to give me your quote, and we will plug that into the description. I love it. All right. So, any fun projects that you want to plug in? Anything that you want to announce for our
Yeah.
listeners and viewers? This is your
Well,
time.
I work on this magazine which is doing gangbusters. It's called Photo Book Magazine. And
Amazing.
so like I have to say I'm really proud of, from a professional standpoint. Me and my the co-owner, my partner in the magazine, Allison Hernan, we literally neither one of us have any experience in publishing, and we're like, oh, let's start a magazine. And thinking like, and we did. I mean, we did. We just figured it
Yeah.
out as we went along, and it's
Mhm.
been 4 years, 3.5 years now, and and we're like
Amazing.
doing like gangbusters, and like, you know, like publicists are pitching all these like A-list celeb stuff and stuff. So, you know, to go from like literally it was like a blog to what it is now is pretty exciting for us, and we're on the cusp of like some really great things happening. So that's one thing. And I just I did Vanessa Williams is about to on Friday, she's coming out with new music, first
Okay.
album in 15 years.
Yes.
So I sort of like spearheaded the creative for all of it. Like I art creative directed and photographed all of the cover art for all of the singles, and I directed the music video. And I even introduced her to my friend who's a producer, Bill Coleman, and he did all the remixes. So I kind of had my like, I've had like a pretty heavy hand in
Wow.
the whole project. So I'm
So
really
dope.
excited about that because I feel like my participation was pretty pivotal in it, and I feel like it's going to be such a big thing for her.
Oh
Like,
yeah, her fans are ready. They've been wanting
yeah.
needy music for a while.
Well, and it's dance music. It's very
Yes.
energetic. She looks
Yes.
better than she literally than she ever has. Like she looks
Yeah.
better than she did when she was in her 20s.
Yeah.
She looks like beyond, like it's crazy.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, anything that you touch is always going to be like golden too. So, oh, I can't wait to see all the visuals in the music video. Yes. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Vanessa
so
Williams.
that comes out Friday. Well, that comes it's April 26th. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
when this airs, but this it'll be Friday.
It'll be out. Yeah, it'll be out. I love that. Congratulations. So cool. And everything on MikeRuiz.com?
Yep, MikeRuiz.com or my trusty Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
which is at MikeRuizone, Mike Ruiz1, all spelled out. And
Love it.
that's where I am.
Mike Ruiz, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. You guys, make sure that you go check out the new music video with Vanessa Williams, the photo book magazine with Allison Hernan. Mike Ruiz, I appreciate your time, your light, your energy. You guys, this is what your one-stop shop place for all things mindfulness, creativity. And until the next time, make an impact in somebody's life. Much love and light to you all. Take care. Bye, Mike.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.